There we go. Now you can hear me. Hey, everybody, it's your man, Governor Wildstar. What's up? Right here on the Black Side of Liberty. I appreciate each and every one of you out there for being right here for this very special episode. And at this moment, I am waiting for my guest to jump in, who is actually an attorney. So we hopefully will be speaking with an actual attorney here on the Black Side of Liberty about Black's Law. If you don't know what that is, you definitely want to find out. This is the episode for you, okay? So please be sure to stay tuned. Hopefully, like I said, we'll be able to get my guests jumping into the session here shortly. But in the meantime, of course, you guys know what to do. Definitely head on over to Governor Wildstar's YouTube channel and subscribe. I'm almost at that goal of 30,000 subscribers. So please help me reach that as soon as possible by, again, heading over to YouTube, clicking on that subscribe button, and making sure that you're staying in the tune and loop of what's going on, what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? And of course, please be sure to share any of these videos. Help me spread my message, help me reach a bigger audience. Let's grow this liberty movement so we can take back our country and take back our freedoms and liberties, okay? So go through any of my videos, whether it's me in court challenging one of these traffic tickets, bullshit traffic tickets, or challenging an actual officer during a traffic stop, or one of my mini debates or anything like that, one of my viral videos, etc. Please share that. Help me, again, be seen and heard by more people, since the fake news don't want to talk about me. I'm a real revolutionary and a fighter for we the people, and they definitely want to suppress me as much as possible. So I need you to step up to the plate, and do your due diligence by helping spread the word, okay? And of course, head on over to my website, governorwildstar.com. You can see it right there at the bottom of the screen. That again is governorwildstar.com, just like my name. Oh, wait, this way, right there. So head on over to the website. Click on any of those social media icons, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Please connect with yours truly so we can, again, grow our audience and help reach more people. People are stuck on stupid. They only pay attention to numbers, even if it's a robot that created those numbers and they are false numbers or whatever the case may be. They're bandwagoners. So if they see I got 5,000 views on this and 4,000 followers, 5,000 followers or whatever, they'll be sure to follow also. They'll be sure to watch the video also, or read that article or whatever the case may be. So I need you to help me keep those numbers up as much as possible, especially right now during this virtual world evolution that's coming about, since everybody's at home having to do Zoom conferences and StreamYard or whatever the case may be, so they can help reach their virtual audience. It's all about these numbers. So help me increase my numbers organically. I don't want to have to pay hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars just so I can make it seem like I'm this big popular guy. I want to get there organically, truthfully, and as honestly as possible. So to do so, I again need you to make that happen, okay? So as I said, this is the Black's Law edition of Black Side of Liberty. If you haven't heard or don't know what this is the Black's Law Dictionary. People think this means black people. Has nothing to do with black people. This is the book that every attorney has to read through, learn. And the reason being is because this book is nothing but another dictionary. All of the words in this book is the language that's used in courtrooms, okay? And all attorneys that have to go through our, our law system or whatever the case may be, and get approved by the Bar Association, get a law degree, they have to read this book. They have to be familiar with the language that's going to be used in courtrooms. People step into courtrooms and they are ignorant of that language because it is completely different than the actual words that we use. We step into a courtroom thinking they speaking to us in English. They are not. They're speaking to in another language. It's called legalese. If you take any job any job that has a specific vocabulary or its own type of what is it? Damn it, I don't even know the word to say. Speaking of words, but if you take any profession, most likely if you're a mechanic or a sound engineer, there's certain terms and words that are used that you have to be aware of in order to do the job. If you work in aviation, you're a plane, a pilot or something like that, flying a plane or a helicopter, you have to know about, all of those terms that, regarding that profession or whatever the case may be. Same thing happens with law. What's up, TJ, and welcome to the Black Side of Liberty, man. We talking about this book right here, Black's Law Dictionary, which has nothing to do with black people. Again, to all you ignorant people out there, this has everything to do with law. So the reason why this book is so important, and this is the 11th edition. I don't even know how many editions it is now, but it's been going up and up since the first Black's Law Dictionary was introduced to courtrooms to be used. And you can look it up yourselves. I would definitely recommend anybody out there that wants to get familiar with the law themselves to just pick up this book and, finger through it, learn a little bit. Especially if you plan on getting into a courtroom and representing yourself. Attorneys cost money. They cost tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to defend you in court, depending on what the case charges may be. And if you don't have that money to cover those expenses, then most likely you're going to be introducing yourself to the court, pro persona, I believe it's called. Just look up here in this book, Black's Law Dictionary. And if you represent yourself in court, they're going to be speaking to you. They're going to assume that you know about this or to somewhat are able to speak to the courtroom outside of this book and its legalese, its definitions. So if you are aware of it just a little bit, you'll be able to defend yourself. If not at all, then you're going to have a hard time. A lot of people go in there naked, don't know what to do. And this is extremely imperative when it comes to fighting our judicial system because we all know it's corrupt. By now, you should know that the damn court system is corrupt. I actually just released put a picture up on my Instagram about me getting a traffic ticket, a civil assessment payment demand from the state, Orange County in particular, for a ticket that was 4 years ago, okay? 4 years ago. Case dismissed, but yet they're still asking for this civil assessment fee of $325. It's ridiculous. My man Robert got a question, says, I don't know what that first word is. Why is a demand on God? Oh, hold on. That's in another language, Robert. We're going to have to translate that shit before you post it or something like that. Because I don't know what the hell you're saying, man. That's another language right there. But I appreciate you for tuning in, Robert. Drop your question again, and I'll be sure to answer that as best of my ability. But as I said, I was hoping to have a guest here who is a friend of mine and an actual attorney himself who contacted me to feed me information on the low and tell me more about how to represent myself in court because he saw one of my videos on YouTube and was excited about it and was so motivated by that video to get involved that he contacted me and said, hey, what can I do to help you tighten up your game? That way, when you get in there, you're actually doing and saying what's needed in order for you to win your cases. So I was hoping to have him here on the show again, Mr. Law. Hopefully, we'll be able to get him onto the show at some point during this broadcast. But in the meantime, I'm going to just talk to you guys, all right? So if you have any questions, any concerns, any statements, anything like that, drop it and let's chat, okay? But yeah, my shirt also says practice socialist distancing. It does not say practice socialism. A lot of people saw this on me before and said, what do you mean practice socialism? No, says practice socialist distancing. We want to get away from those socialists. And they are on both sides right now. Both Republicans and Democrats are supportive of we the people getting government checks just for nothing. Universal basic income. They're implementing that thanks to this coronavirus lockdown, this quarantine, this pandemic panic. And since they have rendered millions of people unemployed and non-essential, they are now receiving government checks, to supplement their income and keep them afloat until that gets cut. And then what? We, the people, are sucking on the tit of our government, and that money, again, comes out of our pockets. So while they're borrowing it from the Federal Reserve, which is a private company that's hidden printing up money, and then loaning it to the United States government, who then is turning around and giving that to you people, just so you can pay it back in taxes once your ass gets back to work. That's how it works. They borrow and spend. That's the trend. We need to end that borrow and spend trend. Tell the government, federal government, state government, we don't want you borrowing any more money from anybody. We want to pay off our debts. We want to pay off our bills. We want to live free economically. And the only way that we're going to be able to do that is if we stop borrowing money. And right now, the federal government, Trump, your President Trump, is borrowing money from the Federal Reserve happily to the tune of trillions of dollars added to the debt each and every month now, it seems like, to where come next year, our dollar, the dollar in your wallet, our money is going to be so inflated, it's going to be worthless. So yeah, they'll give you $1,200. They'll give you $5,000. They'll give you $500,000 because guess what? When you go to buy a loaf of bread and that shit is, $100 a loaf for some eggs is, $50 or something like that. The cost of living shoots through the roof. And you're going to be paying for it. You're paying for it right now. You just haven't realized it yet. Once it hits your pockets, you are going to be SOL. That's shit out of luck for those who don't know. And that's not here in the legalese Black's Law Dictionary book, but most of you should know a little bit about basic economics. Please definitely pick up a book about economics in our country, how it works. A lot of people are just financially illiterate when it comes to money in general. Where the hell does money come from? You don't even know. And the thing is our country is, again, borrowing that money from a private company. And that whole system is connected to our judicial system. Our economical system is connected to the judicial system. How is that so? Taxes. All right. So they borrow, and the IRS is the collections arm of the Federal Reserve. So the IRS is the one that goes around and making sure that you pay your taxes, and they will take your property if you don't, whether it be your car, whether it be your house, whether it be, your kids or something like that. They will take your property because it belongs to them. And we got to stop that. How do we stop that? That's what we need to come to an agreement on, because there's so many people throwing different ideas and recommendations out there, but a lot of them has to do with violence. We want to do it civilly and peacefully. How can we make that transition of power civilly and peacefully back into the hands of we the people? And I would say that's exercising your vote. If you don't believe in the voting system, that's another story. The voting system believes in your dumb ass. I can't tell you how many people I meet that says, I don't follow politics. I don't care about politics. I'm not into politics. Well, politics is into your dumb ass. Politics cares about you enough. Reason why you're wearing this mask forcefully is because the government is telling you that you need to wear a mask. And if you don't wear a mask, they will arrest your ass and throw you in jail. If not, taser you or worse. Okay? That's because of the government. You're paying taxes because of the government. Your kids aren't able to be in school right now in certain states because of the government. You can't go to work. Some of you out there, especially your non-essential people like yours truly, can't do it because of the government. So even though you may not like the government, you may not feel like voting works or does anything, somebody out there does. And they're heading their asses to the voting booths, and they're making sure whatever candidate that's going to promote their ideas and make sure that you have to pay for it gets into office. And you are the subject of their authority, whether you like it or not. I can't tell you how many people believe that just because they don't vote, they're not subject to the government's authority. Watch it and see what happens. Try to drive your car without a license or without tags on your car. See what happens. Try not paying your taxes. Donald Trump has just been reported that he only paid $750 in income taxes for the past 2 years, 2016 and 2017. They haven't even, came out with 2018, 2019, 2020, whatever the case. But as far as those 2 years, $750. Now that's a high level of tax evasion when this man is supposedly a multimillionaire billionaire. How is he able to avoid being able to pay taxes when we, the people, aren't afforded that liberty? Something's going on. Something's wrong. Wesley Snipes, an actor, was arrested and thrown in jail for tax evasion. Why isn't the president being thrown in jail for tax evasion? He criticized Obama for paying a certain small percentage of taxes on his income, yet it was much, much higher than the $750 that Donald Trump has been exposed to only have been paid in taxes. All you people out there complaining about rich people need to pay their fair share, and why is it that Apple and Google and all of these major corporations get away with not having to pay any taxes at all? Meanwhile, me, Joe Schmo, hard working class person that has, a family and a roof and normal, real people problems, expenses to take care of, is barely making it, hanging in there, check to check. And that's because, again, you are a slave to their system, their economical system, and it all relates to paperwork. When you're born, you're issued a birth certificate, and that right there is letting you know that you are state-owned property, that birth certificate. Look it up. And matter of fact, come back Thursday where I'll be speaking with the guest who will be exposing this more in detail. Then I was hoping to again have someone on my show today to speak more about these issues, as well as the information in this Black's Law Dictionary. That way you out there, all you people out there, can actually know its application, how to empower yourself so you can use it yourself and not have to depend on the criminal justice system that's so flawed to protect you. They're not out to protect you at all. The public defender, the public pretender, how many of you have had to go to court, deal with a public pretender who could care less, ends up going out to lunch and shit with the damn prosecutor and the district attorney who is sworn to protect the duty and role of the police officers? So when they get in there, just like this guy out in for the Breonna Taylor case, the district attorney could give a damn about helping anybody in the community because he openly said, my job is to make sure that the police officers' demands are upheld, and I work for them. I do not work for you. And that's how the system works. This whole Black's Law Dictionary right here, you got to look it up. If you look up the word person in the Black's Law Dictionary, there you have a legal fiction persona. That's your birth certificate. Your birth certificate is an establishment of your legal fiction persona. It is not, I repeat, it is not a statement saying that you are born. A lot of people believe that. They like, oh, well, you need a birth certificate. How else would anybody know you were born? Well, I'm obviously evidence of it. I'm a living being, right? I'm breathing right in front of your ass and talking to you. So I'm evidence that there was a live birth. Why do I need to be issued a number? Why do I need to be issued an official document by the state to confirm that when I, again, am evidence of that? Now, the who, when, where, and all of that shit, that's personal information. That shouldn't have to be needed to prove anything to anyone except for maybe an employer or something like that, in which case there should be other ways to do so, like, give your mom a call and have her write you up a letter or something like that, which you can get notarized. You can use that as proof of birth. So if you have a child, I just had a child myself, my first child, and we have proof of birth. How is that? The hospital, they provide you with a birth record of that birth from the hospital. So every one of us has a hospital birth record, and that is proof of the actual birth. You don't have to resubmit that to the state and give property of your children to the state, which you are doing when you sign that birth certificate. I can't tell you how many times while my wife and I was in the hospital tending to our baby that we kept getting a knock on our door from the damn representative from the state office saying, hey, are you guys ready to sign your birth certificate? Here's that birth certificate. You ready to sign that birth certificate? You're going to need this birth certificate before you leave the hospital. Make sure you get your birth certificate. And every time we have to tell her, no, get out of our room. Stop coming in here. Yeah, that's how it is. TJ says, invite me on when you folks dip out last minute. I sure will, man. Hey, I always give them up to 5 minutes before the session starts. That way I can give them enough time. Everybody's schedule is different, but if my man is able to connect with me at any point, like I said, I'm going to get Mr. Law on here so we can talk more about this issue in detail. And TJ also says, if available, I'll jump on and we can have some fun. Absolutely, man. I would love that. Anybody out there have any questions, comments, concerns, definitely drop them. Like I said, this is another open dialogue with yours truly for another 10 minutes or so. Then I'm going to get my ass on with my day. But for now, we could definitely talk, chop it up. If you have anything that you want to express to me and ask me about potentially my campaign for governor of California in 2022, since I am running as a candidate for governor in 2022, ask me any questions regarding that. And I'll tell you this, were I to be elected, or when I get elected, so to speak, I'll be making a series of changes. You know how they say first 100 days, what are you going to do? I'm going to do 101. So that's my first 100 days of activity and proposals, etc. Changes in the government will be done in one day. The first day that I assume office, you will be seeing a string of changes coming out of my administration. One of them being this right here, changes with our judicial system. That way we, the people, can actually have some equality and some accountability when it comes to these representatives. I'm challenging a judge right now for a violation of their oath, right? Because each state representative, whether it's a judge, a prosecutor, a police officer, a politician, a soldier, they swear upon the United States Constitution and take an oath to defend it from all enemies, foreign and domestic, right? This is their oath to uphold the United States Constitution. They can swear on the Bible, they can swear on the Quran or whatever, religious text of their choice. But that's the thing. Every representative that supposedly represents us is sworn to uphold the United States Constitution. So when they violate that oath, how can we hold them accountable? That's what I did. I challenged a judge who violated their oath, sent that to a federal judge. You know what that federal judge let me know? That local judge, that state judge, has immunity, judicial immunity. So you've heard of qualified immunity for police officers. I hope you guys have gotten familiar with that term by now, thanks to the Black Lives Matter movement and their demands for racial justice equality in our criminal justice system. If you haven't heard of qualified immunity, Google the shit so you can find out. That basically means that any police officer, any law enforcement official can do whatever the hell they want and have immunity because they are qualified because of their position. And that's another layer that I will be removing as governor of California. We have a police bill of rights. Look that up. Police bill of rights. I will remove that completely. That way, the only bill of rights that apply to police officers is the same bill of rights that applies to you and I in the United States Constitution. They don't get an extra layer of protection, which exists right now. You don't hear Black Lives Matter demanding that be removed right now. I will do that as soon as I get in office on day one. All right? Remove that qualified immunity. Remove judicial immunity. That way we can hold these judges accountable for their failures to uphold the United States Constitution, as well as their violation against you and your constitutional rights. TJ says, I have another filled out recall sheet for you in the van. All right, man, get that shit over to me. Definitely ASAP. Yes, we are involved in a recall Gavin effort right now. If you haven't heard about the petition that's circulating, if you live in California, please definitely do your due diligence. Stop being reliant upon the mainstream media to tell y'all asses everything. They're not going to tell you shit that they don't want you to know. Have y'all ever even heard of this fucking book? Huh? How many people out there are aware that lawyers have their own language, and it's right here in this book called the Black's Law Dictionary? They haven't ever taught you this in school because they don't want you to be familiar with it at all. Why are we taught about law basics in school? You don't need to be a lawyer. You don't need to be a sworn representative of the Bar Association in order for you to be representing yourself in court. Why aren't we taught the basics? Because they don't want you to know anything about it. They want you to be completely ignorant and illiterate. Same thing about money. Why don't they tell us where money comes from? You take a basic economics class in high school, they tell you how to use balance a checkbook, and you do all of these courses and experiments and shit like that. Like, what would you do if you ran your own business and all of this other stuff? Wait. Let's get down to the basics. Where did money come from? Where does money come from? How does it have any value? Where does it get that value from? What are precious metals? These are all questions that we should be asking that we're not asking. We need to change the dialogue. And that's what I'm demanding for all of you out there to do, is start changing the dialogue. If you live in California, if you are upset with any of your living conditions, you should be questioning your governor, Governor Gavin Newsom, right now, because that's the duty that he took up, the responsibility that he took upon himself when he accepted the role to represent you. And that's what I'm doing. I'm doing my best to hold his ass accountable. That's why I'm involved in a petition to recall his ass right now, because he has failed we, the people of California, and he is not acknowledging any of our major concerns. He just made a law making it, I guess, to change the way transgender people are assigned in jails. If you're a transgender person, based on your gender identity, you will be rehoused either with the women or the men. And this is a focus of his right now, not helping the millions of people that are facing eviction or home foreclosures or homelessness, or maybe going hungry because they can't afford food right now to feed themselves and or their families. He don't give a damn about that. He'd rather give hundreds of millions of dollars to undocumented residents, in the state of California, instead of giving that money to actual American citizens. Now, I have nothing against our immigrant population here in the state of California. What I do have a problem with is that taxpayer money being given to those groups of individuals versus others who are legally bound to actually be receiving that money. Taxpayers should be getting that money back first. And yeah, they're not. Rick Roby says bar attorneys are in violation of the nobility clause in the Constitution. You're right about that. It's a conflict of interest. And I believe bar means British accredited registry, something like that. Has to do with the crown. So any bar attorney is pretty much taking the oath to support the crown of England and this legalese, this jargon here that holds you accountable for bullshit. Their bullshit court that they've created. Their bullshit court system has nothing to do with law. Bar attorneys are not lawyers. Thank you, Rick Roby. I got Rick Roby in the house dropping some knowledge on this. I appreciate you for all of the comments. And regency means the crown, exactly. Like the word registration. It's from the root word regency, which refers to the crown of England and royalty. So whenever you register, you are giving it to the regency. And that refers to the king and queen. So you are registering your property to let the king and queen know this is essentially yours. This is what I've obtained as your subject to give his or her majesty. Some bullshit. Stop registering your kid. Stop registering your car. Stop registering your gun. Don't register shit. It's yours. It's a free country. And this is supposed to be a free country. This is supposed to be a sovereign country, a sovereign nation. We are not. We are still at the behest of the crown in England and still being controlled by the monarchy altogether that exists. Have you ever looked up the missing 13th Amendment? I have not. But there are some exposés out there. I know there's one on Netflix about the 13th Amendment. And if you haven't seen that yet, you definitely want to check that out. It is an eye opener indeed, because it lets you people know out there that you are still slaves to the system. If you get arrested, I mean, you pretty much are property of the state property. Says it on the clothing, and you wear it. And that's exactly what happens all the time. Rick Roby says the crown still holds alludial title to America. Right. I can't tell you guys enough about how much we have been misinformed and misled here in America, especially the new generations. You know, as the older generations die out with this information, the younger ones are completely ignorant to it because they haven't been educated on it enough. They haven't been educated by the seniors in our community, and they're definitely not taking it upon themselves to educate each other. So it's up to us, Rick Roby. It's up to us, TJ, to get the word out there and inform our brothers and sisters about what's really going on in our country. That way we can come together and revolt against this unconstitutional government that we have. It is not a government for the people, by the people. It is one for and by the royalty, the regency, the monarchy, and it could care less about your freedoms and civil liberties, period. All right. Yeah, as I said, I'm not going to talk too long because I could probably go on too damn long, and I definitely don't want to do that. So if you guys haven't heard yet, like I said, I'm running for California governor, and I am in need of support. So please head on over to my crowd pack. That's crowdpack.com/C/Wildstar4Gov. Okay. I'm asking all of you out there to make a contribution to my campaign today, whether just $5. That's what I'm going to do. $5 for any of you out there that can make a contribution to my campaign today. If you want to go hard, let me get 20 for 2020, so I can meet my $10,000 goal, $10,000 goal for this year. I'm trying to hit $10,000 before the end of this year. Right now, this is how much I have, 1051. You guys got to put your money where your mouth is, because that's what's happening on the other side with regards to the establishment. They're getting all of that money from corporatists. They're getting all of that money from all of their crony friends. They're getting all of that money from special interests who could care less about your interests and what you really want from your government. Because once they get them on their payroll, they belong to them, not you. I want to belong to you. I will always belong to you. Even if I got money from some special interest group, I still don't give a damn, because I belong to you. And that's where my oath will remain, as a servant, a public servant for we the people. TJ says, amen. Amen to you, brother. Thank you. Sellouts rule us, right? And right now, Gavin Newsom is the biggest sellout. He has sold us out to corporate America. He has sold us out to his crony capitalist friends. If you haven't heard, his Plump Jack Winery has gotten hundreds of thousands of dollars of taxpayer-backed money. That's our money that his business gets, his multi-million-dollar winery gets. And even though there's mom and pop shop businesses closing down, there's people can't work as an independent contractor because of this guy. Whether it's a plumber, whether it's a carpenter, whether it's a roofer, whether it's a gardener, whether it's a childcare professional, whether it's a speech therapist. If you have ever worked in the state of California as an independent contractor, unless you become a sole proprietor, you must work for a business now in order for you to continue to provide that service to the community. Want to know why? This asshole right here signed a bill called AB 5 banning you from working as an independent contractor. The reason why rideshare drivers right now are lobbying to pass Prop 22, which gives rideshare drivers a loophole out of that AB 5. It only applies to rideshare drivers. So if you work for Uber or Lyft or any of that shit, you will have an opportunity to continue to work as an independent contractor if Prop 22 passes. Right now, Uber and Lyft have threatened to leave the state of California alone. They won't provide any services in the state of California if this bill fails. So they're pressuring we the people so we can go to the voting booths and pass this Prop 22, when we really should be putting pressure on our damn governor right here to nullify AB 5. That's what I'll do as soon as I take office. Day one, nullify AB 5. Repeal that shit and get it the hell out of here. Check out the Pilgrim Society, says Rick Roby. Check that out, you guys. I'm going to do the same thing. I appreciate the recommendation. My plate is always full, but I'm happy to eat up as much knowledge as possible. So share with me any information that you can, and I'll definitely do my best to ingest it as soon as possible and chew it up, spit it out back to y'all asses so you can know what's going on as well. All right. And as I said, I would love for all of you out there to help contribute to my campaign today so I can help meet my fundraising goal of $10,000 before the end of the year. So make a $5 contribution today, and I would greatly appreciate it. Okay. Also, please head on over to recallgavin2020.com. Like my man TJ said, we the people of California are collecting signatures and circulating petitions to recall the governor. We're doing everything in our effort to do so. TJ, who runs healinghiphop.com, he actually came out, brought his family out, brought some equipment, brought radio controlled cars and helicopters and some kids doing face painting, Nerf guns for target practice for the kids. Brought all of this out to help the event, and this was volunteered and provided by him. And that's what we need, more people of the community coming together with whatever resources that they have to bring more awareness about what we the people of the community are attempting to do. It doesn't cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. It doesn't cost obscene amounts of money. We can do it with the bare minimum. And right now, recallgavin2020.com, they need as much money as possible to help get more information out there about this recall and get it more exposure, since a lot of people are ignorant that it's even happening. So head on over to recallgavin2020.com, click on donate so you can make a contribution today. And if you don't want to give any money and just want to circulate that petition, all you have to do is download it, sign that petition, print the petition, of course, and circulate that. They have the letter size and then they have the legal size. Letter size has a room for 5 signatures and legal size has 10 signatures. You must print this on legal size paper, not on regular 8.5 by 11. If you print legal size, the 10 form on the 5, it will on the smaller paper, it will not count. Also, you may not print both sides. I tried to be savvy and save some paper and ink by printing both sides of the recall sheet here, petition, and I was told that made the signatures invalid. So as heartbreaking as that is, I'm doing my best to make up as many signatures to make up for that. But in the meantime, I was informed that you are not allowed to print out a petition and collect signatures on both sides of the paper. It must be on one face of the paper. It's ridiculous. Serco runs our patent office for Britain, and they steal all our best patents. Oh, Rick Roby out there in Britain. Are you out there in Britain or are you in America? Because, I mean, I know our judicial system is somewhat the same, but we definitely need our brothers and sisters over there in Europe to hit the streets also. I've seen videos where they're protesting against this whole coronavirus lockdown, since it does have a 99.9% survival rate for certain age groups under the age of 50, I believe. If you're under the age of 50, there's a 99.9% survival rate. I think we just hit 7 million confirmed cases in the United States of America, but only passed 200,000 in deaths. What that means is that's a 0.06% of our entire population. 0.06% of our entire population here in the United States of America, which is almost 400 million people, okay? So that's a very small fraction of people that have unfortunately died due to this virus. But that does not mean that our freedoms and liberties should be taken away because of it. And that's exactly what's happening right now. So please definitely help us, we the people of California, get rid of our governor so we can get our lives back to normal out here in California. And if you want to help on the grassroots level where I am, jump in. We Have Rights. It's a nonprofit organization that is fighting to reopen the state of California. And we're doing our best to assemble as many rallies as we can throughout the state, get as many signatures as we can for the recall, working with the Recall Gavin 2020 team before the recall deadline, which is November 17th. So please connect with us so we can help, again, bring more awareness and attention to this recall effort and get more people involved on the grassroots level. Boots on the ground, that's what we need. We need more boots on the ground. So if you're in the state of California and you want to help get out that petition, join We Have Rights, help us. And of course, we can bring back our liberties and freedoms with the new governor, me. That's what I'm attempting to do. So if you want to support any of those efforts, again, got the Crowd Pack, got the Recall Gavin, and the We Have Rights team here, right here. Let's see, Rick Roby, says there's a petition to impeach Abbott in Texas. All right, he's in Texas, out there in Texas. Check out Dan Taxation is Theft Berman. Dan Taxation is Theft Berman. He's the libertarian candidate that is running for governor of Texas. So check him out there, Rick Roby. Let's help that man get elected. He ran for president under the libertarian ticket and is now running for governor in Texas. Let's help him get elected. TJ said it's way, 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 way less if you take out folks with pre-existing conditions. Exactly. It's been exposed by the CDC that damn near all of the people that have died from coronavirus have had at least one pre-existing condition, major pre-existing condition. Nothing, that is non-threatening. But what it has done was, again, take those pre-existing conditions, and if the person dies from that pre-existing condition while having coronavirus, it's cataloged as a coronavirus case and confirmed death. All right? It's bullshit. The numbers are wrong. 10K-ish, I believe. Yeah, it definitely goes down even more significantly. So that survival rate probably is like at 100% even. Since there's been lots of people that have had coronavirus once or twice more times than just singly, and have survived. So they're okay. Rick Roby says, Aim for Truth has all details about how Britain rules the world. Please share that information. Drop it out there so people can know. They are a little lazy, so you have to give them links and shit because people don't like doing research themselves. So drop the links out there if you guys have any information to share. Rick Roby says, medical costs in this country are out of control. You kidding me, man? I mean, we definitely can reduce the cost of medical costs if we get government out of, the medical industry altogether. But who really wants that? Who wants a free market where you will have access to the best healthcare in the entire world for a better rate, a more affordable rate? There's even prepaid medical care services out there, providers, healthcare providers coming together to provide prepaid medical services. They're coming up with their own paying structures to provide people more options outside of the ones that we're being forced into. So you have to rebel, people. That's what this is all about. We can't continue to stay subservient to this authoritarian government, or we will lose all of our freedoms and liberties. It's only 10,000 dead when you take those out. I'm with you on that. So please, again, everybody, get involved with the recall effort. Get involved with the reopen effort so we can get our state back to normal and not have to continue to subject ourselves to this new normal they want us to get conditioned to and pass down to the next generation, our kids. I don't want my kid to have to grow up in a world where he is forced to wear a mask just to go outside of our home. That's ridiculous. Or just to go to school or go to work or interact with people in general. Got to wear PPE, gloves, and goggles, and a face mask, and gloves. I see people walking around with all of that bullshit, and it's like, I don't know what is going through their minds, like what information are they paying attention to other than the news, who pretty much uses scare tactics to make us afraid and use fear mongering so we can continue to go along with the program. We need to question that program and challenge the authority that exists. TJ also says, amen, time to revolt. You damn Skippy, right about now. We're not going to wait any longer. So please join me, join TJ, and let's all revolt against the government. We love our country. We hate our government. We love our country. I love the United States of America. I'll continue to fight and bleed and sweat, all of that for America. But I'm not going to do it for this government. Hell no. I'm going to do everything in my power to destroy it. Destroy it. That's what I'm all about. If y'all on some bullshit and you want to continue to prop this shit up so it can exist, you will fail. You will die. And all you will have to thank is yourself for that. Washington, D.C. is its own country, just like the city of London and Vatican City. Those are city-states. And yes, Washington, D.C. is not part of the United States of America, people. Please look that up also. It's a dictating state called a city-state. And believe it or not, the federal government's authority is only supposed to be, isn't supposed to go outside the area of Washington, D.C. Because again, you have a whole bunch of sovereign states, their own countries. coming together to say we are united. The United States of America. Our state of California is its own republic. We are a free country here in California. We are agreeing to be part of the union. Let them keep fucking up. Yes, California, Cal exit. We're going to make it happen, and we're going to succeed from the United States of America. That's what I'm a part of also. Please check them out. Yes, California, Cal exit. And if the government does not adhere to our demands, we will say fuck you, and we will end the relationship by creating our own country out of our own state. Amen. Amen, TJ. Rick Roby says the face diaper means you accept your slavery. Ain't that the truth? I don't want to have to wear the face diaper. And it seems like every time I go out, I'm being chastised because I refuse to wear it. There's even places where I just run in, run out without a mask because shit, I'm just coming in, to get some ice or, check my P.O. box. And I have people looking at me all weird and shit. I don't give a damn. You're the one that's continued to want to be a servant of the state, a subservient human being, when you need to not be subservient to anyone other than Almighty, your creator, the one that gave you life, whether that be your parents, if you want to refer to them as such, or like I said, the higher being that exists. If you don't believe in that, that's cool, but I do. TJ says we're going to succeed. They won't even see us coming till it's too late. Ain't that the truth? I want to rip the carpet out from under their asses so quick that they fall flat on their faces and bust their head wide open. And just leave them there. Just leave them. Because we're going to go on and we're going to build something brand new for the entire world to see. That's what I'm out here doing, people. So please, join in that effort. Like I said, recall Gavin2020.com. Even if you don't live in California, I got people saying, "Oh, I live in another state. How can I get involved with the recall? Or how can I get involved with your campaign?" Money. Put your money where your mouth is. $5. Like I said, donate $5 to me. Donate $5 to the Recall Gavin 2020 team. Donate $5 to We Have Rights. Donate $20 if you want to do that. 20 for 2020. We need $20 for the year 2020. Let's make this shit happen right now. If you got $20, put that 20 on it. I'll take a dub. Let me get it, okay? Amen, TJ. Amen, brother, man. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Vote with your wallet, right? We need to start voting with our wallet like these rich people do, the ones that are keeping their desires and interests in the politicians' minds and in the forefront. How do we make that happen? We got to start taking it back. Take back our economy. Take back our economical power. That's the real true weapon that we can wield right now, and it will end this war against our freedom. So please, definitely, like I said, get involved in the efforts right now. So if you guys want to get a psychic reading, speaking of money, give that money to my wife, Crystal Wildstar. She provides psychic readings, and we'll be right here every Wednesday. So come on back tomorrow for Crystal Room Wednesdays, where you can speak with my wife, Crystal Wildstar. Ask her a question about your love life or a past relative or the coronavirus lockdown or the Illuminati or whatever you want to ask her about. Hit her up, talk to her. And she does have a website, which is crystalshealingarts.com. Head on over to her website, crystalshealingarts.com. You can make an appointment with her if you want a direct reading. But like I said, if you want to enjoy one of those little mini readings, just see what it's all about, come on over to the Governor Wildstar YouTube channel on Wednesdays, and I'll have my wife, Crystal Wildstar, right here to talk to you. Also, you can check her out on Facebook at Crystal's Healing Arts. Please be sure to connect with her today, or on Instagram at New Star Goddess. All right. What TJ said, they use their wallet to fund Alec and fees us. I think you got a typo there. Feeds us bills to better them, I believe he's saying. Illuminate. Yes, we got to illuminate ourselves. How can we illuminate our world, our conditions, our environment, our life? We got to start looking within. You know, my wife can definitely help you with that. She's helped me several times with it and continues to help me with it on an everyday basis so I can continue to fight this fight for freedom and pour my all into it instead of just saying fuck it and leave you guys to your detriment. I'm sticking in here to fight alongside you. Speaking of fighters, please definitely come back on Thursday where I'm going to be speaking to this wonderful man right here who I found online, President R19 Body. President R19 Body will be right here on the Black Side of Liberty this Thursday. So come on back so we can speak with Mr. Body, find out more about what he's proposing to do as the next candidate for president of the United States of America. All right. So you guys, I appreciate you all for tuning in. All of your questions and comments. Like I said, I apologize that my guest was not able to jump in to the session today. But hopefully, again, in the near future, we'll be scheduling a Black's Law edition part 2 of Black Side of Liberty, and we can get him back on the show then. But in the meantime, please definitely come back Thursday where we'll be speaking with President R19 Body. Have any questions for him? Google him, find out more about him before then, and we're going to talk to the man, okay? So in the meantime, y'all, I'm going to get my ass out here. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Definitely come back Thursday and let's talk more, okay? In the meantime, long live liberty, y'all. Peace.